Hi everyone, I'm back today to let you see some of my 12 by 12 scrapbook layouts that I've done over the years. This is more to show you the style of layout rather than the papers, because some of these were done a long time ago and I have no idea what paper packs they came from and such like. It's more just to show you the different types of layout that you can achieve. And the different maybe amounts of photos that you can get on one page. So I'll come back with some other ones later on, but here's just some of my scrapbook layouts that I've done over the years. The first one, this is actually a photograph that was in the local newspaper, and it was such a good photo that I decided that I would cut it out and use it in a scrapbook page. Because I used the photo, I kind of inked the edges to make it messy, to keep with the newspaper type print. I also used cut out squares at the side to make it look like an old negative. So that was what I did there. A lot of my pages are just used with scraps of paper, maybe from different paper packs. These were obviously from the same paper pack but just different styles. And I layered them up, inked the edges, and these are all rub-ons that I used. So I managed to get 3 photos on that page, and using as I say, the one from the newspaper. This one's a single photo layout, and I really like the paper in this one, and I loved the photo. I've got one for my younger daughter Isla as well. The same idea, she's wearing the same cap. I decided to leave it quite plain, so this was tags that came with the paper, this paper. This is just normal craft sugar paper that I cut into a swirl, and then I typed on it before I printed out on it before I cut it in the printer, all about the things that I think epitomise Iona, and obviously I did the same with Isla's one, obviously different words I had to use for her. So it's really plain, just quite simple. I mean, the only things that's on it apart from the photo are the sugar paper on the tag basically, and a brad. So that was a nice easy one to do. This is another multi-layer layout. This was when Iona and my husband went hiking up Loch Nagar, and this time I did the title up the side to make it look like the height of the mountains, and I thought it was quite good because obviously with the mountain picture next to it you kind of get that elongated feel. A simple one again, because I've only got cut out the letters on my Cricut. This was a embellishment that came with this paper pack, and the only other thing I used was, I don't know what these gun things are called, a dynamo is it, that prints out the letters. You put in tape, sticky tape, so I did it with that. So all the journal bits are done with the dynamo. So another simple page, but quite effective, I think. This is another one photo layout, and this time I cut flowers out by hand. I drew on the cardstock and then cut them out. Now I did the same with the leaves and stuck leaf paper behind it. The same with here, the colour paper's actually stuck behind the cutout. And I thought in my wisdom I would try, I bought a sewing machine, a cheap craft sewing machine, and I thought in my wisdom that I would try and sew. Sewing's not my forte, I have discovered. So I'm afraid I lost patience with the sewing and resorted to drawing the stitches on, which was actually an awful lot neater than the sewing effort. So I think maybe me and sewing are definitely not something to go hand in hand. So all I've got there is a quote, a stitch around it as well. It wasn't quite so bad because it was obviously a square. I did manage it slightly better. And I cut out little strips of paper and stuck them at the side to look a bit like ribbon. So that's another quite simple layout. This layout is tipped on its side, just for something a bit different. And it's got two pictures. Words cut from my Cricut again, using my Cricut. And all I did was kind of stick to the colours like in the photos. Made it a bit girly with the checkered flowers. And then I have my journaling in the corner in a triangle. This one, I've got two photos, and because they were obviously out bodyboarding, I've drawn waves and cut them out with transparent blue paper. And these were, this was from my paper pack too, and they had a letter sheet, so I just cut them out and then backed them on white card to make them stand out. And I just used a piece of normal writing paper out of a notebook for that, tore it out and left all the torn bits to make it a bit grungy looking. So it's another one, it's quite simple. This is a multi-photo layout. I've used this layout a couple of times in different photos for the kids, especially for like parties and things, because they usually always tend to take loads of photos at parties, and it's nice to use them up. I printed them out really small on the 9 in a page you get on the printer. Cut out plenty of them and then obviously trimmed them right down so that you weren't having any extra photograph round about it, and stuck them on. I stuck them on hanging off the page and then obviously just trimmed them. These letters were actually cut using, I have wooden templates, which the wooden letters are supposed to be used on pages, but being my usual tight, miserable self, I don't want to use them up for that, so I only use them as templates. So I draw around them, cut them out, and obviously backed them onto a lighter card, and then cut them out again. I did the same with the heart stickers. These are all stickers, the hearts. So I did the same, stuck them on the same colour card, and then cut them out with a border. And then I punched eyelets down the side, and then threaded wool through it. So that's quite a good layout. As I say, I've used that layout a few times for the kids' layout scrapbooks, because, as I say, if they've got parties, there's always lots of photos taken, and you don't want to just choose one or two. So it's a nice way of using up your photos. This is another one photo layout. This time I punched out the flowers with my flower punches, a few different sizes, and layered them up and put brads in them. This paper had the photo negative strip on it anyway, so I just cut out a piece of contrast and brown card. Same here, cut out the frames and then tilted it, and so that the photo wasn't actually round about the photo. It looked as if the photo had fallen out of it, and then just cut two different size corners. So that's another quite simple layout, but different again for a single photo layout. And here we've got another one, and it's quite plain. It's just using scraps of paper. I had one piece of purple paper that I liked, and then I found some scraps that I had, layered them up and stuck on the two different photos. Because it was a masquerade party, you can see they've all got their masks on, I made a little masquerade mask with wire and seed beads and stuck that on. These letters were punched out using the Cricut, but that was one of my friend's cartridges, so I'm not quite sure which one that was. Okay, well, I'll come back with some more later on, and thanks for watching. Bye.